set, na?
Yes,
अच्छा
sir.
अच्छा गुड.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा uh, right. Just a minute, sir.
Uh,
Hi, Venkatesh. Hi.
Good morning, sir.
good morning. Good morning.
Just a minute. Hi. Good morning to all participants, and also good morning to our guest speaker. So, just brief about DRC. DRC is a chartered accountant firm which is based at Chennai head office with pan-India presence. And we do all the funding solution from private equity to loan arrangement and debt syndication, debt consolidation, apart from finance accounts, audit, and merger acquisition and joint venture and the IPO listing. So this is the brief about DRC, and in our last slide, we have given our details. So if anyone interested any kind of support, we are actually very happy to provide all the details, our website, our contact number, and all the details are there. And it's our pleasure in this morning to introduce our guest speaker. And our guest speaker needs no introduction, but as a normal formalities, let me provide the introduction. He's the industry veteran, and it's our pleasure to introduce in this forum. And just to brief about Mr. M. Sekhar, is the former executive director of the Doha Brokerage and Finance Services Limited, which is associate of Doha Bank, who is our participants might be Doha Bank is the second largest bank in the Qatar. It is one of the well-renowned bank over the global worldwide, and he is having the 30 years of rich experience in the equity investment, wealth management, portfolio management, currency, commodity trading, NBFC operation of the company. You take it any name of the funding solution, He is already seen all the areas. And apart from that, he is providing finance literacy training for university and college students in Tamil Nadu, conducting various financial awareness programs in association with National Stock Exchange, Security Exchange, Board of India, and presently he is the various member of the various forums. Very few, only two or three now we are just mentioning. Though he's the co-chairman of Banking and Finance Subcommittee, Andhra Chamber of Commerce. He's the executive committee member, Andhra Chamber of Commerce. And it's our pleasure in this morning, even though it is not, required in this webinar, but we are so happy to mention the few notable achievements, which is really helpful for all the participants and happy to share. In association with National Stock Exchange and the Hindu Business Line, Mr. Sekhar has conducted one mega financial event during the year 2013 in Chennai Trade Center, and which is inaugurated by Dr. C. Rangarajan, former chairman, Planning Commission and Advisory Council. And the same event was conducted at Dubai and inaugurated by the Indian Consular General of Dubai and the CEO of Bank of Baroda. And Mr. Sekhar is a regular contributor to the regional print and visual media channels for sharing his views and opinion related to Indian equity market, investments, economics, insurance, mutual fund, and other financial and banking matters, as well economic policies and procedure of the Indian industry development. With this brief introduction, I would like to request Mr. M. Sekhar to share his valuable insight in this morning. Definitely, it will be very useful for all the participants. And thank you so much, sir. Please start your valuable insight.
Thank you, Mr. Deepak. Thank you for a nice introduction, and it is my pleasure to provide this session for your members as well as entrepreneur community, promoter community, to understand what are all the options available and how India is growing, how entrepreneur of Indian companies can play a key role for the growth of their company as well as growth of overall growth of the GDP growth of the economy. So hope everyone would have completed their yesterday's national duty of casting the vote. So of our general elections. So I think peacefully the election voting has happened yesterday. Nearly around about 70% voting has happened as per the news report given by various news agencies. Hope everyone would have completed their responsibilities. So I have completed my responsibility yesterday.
Okay, okay.
So it is happy to be in this session today, Saturday, with a webinar meeting with your members. I'm really happy. So today, actually, as Mr. Deepak was mentioning, in fact, we had a long association for more than 3 years. Our association started from 2019 onwards, before COVID, and during the COVID also we were interacting various matters and other banking matters and other things. So it is a long relationship with Mr. Deepak, and in fact, a lot of things he has also contributed in finance industries as well as various corporate, mid-sized corporate and small-sized corporates, providing complaints or statutories or any other regulatory aspects. He has provided a lot of services to the entrepreneur community, mid-sized companies as well as small-sized companies. As well as he is also very strong in mergers and acquisitions and strategic alliance with various companies who are interested to expand their business. So I'm happy to associate with Mr. Deepak with his firm, Chartered Accountant firm, and also I'm happy to present my today's session on funding options, various funding options to the members of associated with DRC. It is my pleasure to be presenting various few key points of this various options available today. So let me start the session So, with your all the permissions, let me start the session. Is it okay? Can I start the session? The session will be around about 1 hour. 45 minutes I will be running through the entire presentation, and 15 minutes I will be leaving it for Q&A session for your queries and other things. Sir, I request to present the screen to the members.
Yeah, sir, please, sir, please.
Yeah, I'm not able to see the screen, your presentation screen.
Okay, 1 minute, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, sir, it's okay?
Yes, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Now
Yeah,
the screen is coming, sir.
yeah,
Yes.
So,
sir, please.
yes, sir. I think some of them have also joined recently. I welcome all the members recently joined. I have myself and Mr. Deepak has given a brief introduction about today's program, sir. So now we are starting the session. So Deepak Ray and Company is a chartered accountant and consulting company. Basically, Deepak Ray, practicing chartered accountant, as well as he provides various funding as well as various solutions to small, mid, and large size companies also. Since he worked with various large size corporate company, he has got that what you call expertise and knowledge handling the big corporate requirement as well as the small and mid-sized companies. With this expertise, he will be sharing all the inputs to for their growth of their business from small level to the mid level to the large level. So Deepak and company plays a key role. So I am happy to present my view on various funding options and how you can play a key role in using that facilities and expanding your business. All these things I'm just going to talk about today for 45 minutes, and 15 minutes will be the Q&A session. So, already Mr. Deepak has given a brief background about myself. Basically, I started as a stockbroker, and I was an executive director of brokerage company, which later associated to Doha Bank. Doha Bank is one of the second largest bank in Qatar. They became a strategic alliance partner with us in 2007, and through them, we wanted to expand fund-based activities. We were earlier doing a fee-based activity like wealth management, broking, and all those things. So that was the background, and then after that, I associated with National Stock Exchange for providing a literacy and all those things. So straight away, being a time constraint, I would like to move on to the topic of the session today. So today's topic is funding options for MSME and startup. See, today our Indian economy is growing rapidly. Every state is supporting, central government is supporting for creating new entrepreneurs, new startup, and providing a lot of facilities for the micro, small, medium enterprises. There are a lot of industrial what you call information center. Various IAS officers been appointed, and they are all working with the various local people. Whichever area is specialized in that area, there is a cluster is also available. Suppose, for example, it's a Coimbatore belt textile cluster is there, and there's a lot of facilities MSME is offering incentives, and as well as the in cost of funding is also very cheaper way they are providing. Basically, the reason is to promote our economy more of self-driven first generation entrepreneurs to support various their ideas and provide employment opportunities locally and create a what you call the GDP growth, a sizable growth when the economy is growing. Your participation is very much important. Presently, MSME playing a key role in India's GDP growth. Their contribution is very, very high because a lot of small people are participating, and then they are contributing not only the employment, tax, and other support to various local communities and other things. They are also playing a key role for export of various goods to other countries. So, with this introduction, I'm just getting on to the next slide, please. Everyone knows. So, 2000 years ago, our saint poet Thiruvalluvar has given various examples and how we have to conduct ourselves and how morally we have to run the business, how we have to create a value. So finally, the value only will create a biggest asset for you. So the creating a value, for example, it is Infosys. When I was in a stockbroker in 1994, Infosys shares was the promoter was struggling to sell at 10 rupees per share. Now today it is a very compliance, and it is a very quality company where the transparency is the core area of their main motto of the business. And they've grown with the values, and today even the small percentage of Narayanamurthy share is holding very high value because of the values they brought into the business. Even today many business are coming up. Many business they are having a different kind of view with regard to bringing a values to the various stakeholders. So that value system, when there is a missing in that value system, definitely the business will collapse. You can take a very simple example, Baiju. Baiju is one of the institution which raised private equity fund, very high private equity fund. Being in the educational side, they have not provided a more transparent kind of operation to the investors. What is happening inside the company? These things, when it is missing, definitely the value of the company will also come down. Investor participation will also be very, very less, and finally it will go into the bankruptcy stage. Even many company, they were focusing, not focusing on the value, they were focusing on their own wealth. These type of things, when we are growing the business or when we are traveling with the business, we need to take care of the first stakeholders of the business. Probably you may be starting with a loan capital in the bank institution, or maybe your own capital given by your parents or your friends or relatives or anybody. You are answerable to that capital to return that, and you have to give a reasonable return to the people who have invested in your company based on the your what you call your promises and your how the business is going to perform. So the Tirukular is 2000 years. Tiruvalluvar has given a very, very a simple line of quote, which value, how value is more important for individual, for society, for entrepreneur, even for a leader. So value take you to the next level. So value, even during the failure time, your good values always will be a temporary one, but that temporary things will change into a good challenging situation will change, and will change into a positive way if you are sticking on with the right values. Always the right values will take you to the right destination. So this is what the Thiruvalluvar says. So he consciously centered approach to the subject of business ethics is more important, based on the eternal values and moral principles that should govern the conduct of business leaders. Very much important. That is what he is saying. So next slide, sir. Deepak Ray, sir.
Yeah.
So, in related to the value, so in business, we need to follow five basic principles as an entrepreneur, a small entrepreneur, or a medium size, or even a proprietary company. Every entrepreneur needs to have this basic principles. So the slide is moving slightly. I'm not able to see the. It's okay, sir. Everyone can able to see the slide, sir. All the members?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Sir,
So all the entrepreneur, whether it is a small business or it is a proprietorship or it is whatever business it may be, you need to have that five basic principles which it should intact and it should give a value to the business. First is safety. Suppose any business entrepreneur when they are starting, they will be bringing their own capital, or the capital may be from the friends or maybe relatives or some known people will be providing the capital. So that capital safety you have to provide for yourself as well as for others also. The safety is very much essential for any business, because the person is giving a money maybe for your good purpose or intention may be good. Because of that he may be helping you, but at the end of the day he wants his capital back. So that safety we need to ensure when we are handling our own capital or outsiders capital or anybody's capital or bank's capital, whatever it is, we need to ensure safety of that particular capital. Handling the money is, you have to judicially, you have to apply your mind, and then you have to handle the money with greater care, not with haphazardly. You should not spend money without any reason, or spending huge without any reason is also the business will collapse. Again, the transparency. See, when you take money from the outsiders, you have to be very very clear what is the progress, what is the growth, and what is the challenge you are facing it. Everything you have to at least you have to send a quarterly report to the people who have invested in your business, or people who have given the money to your business, or to the banker. When you are giving this transparency, you are disciplining yourself. Any problems or whatever it is, maybe somebody will throw a light on it. Maybe you can correct yourself, because everybody may not be a master on that particular subject. Maybe an outsider, like your chartered accountant, you can be transparent to your chartered accountant. So they will throw a light how, where the problem you have created, or how you can efficiently function, or how prudently you can run the business in a more effective way. So the transparency should not be missing, particularly the financial aspect of the growth of the business or financial problems or whatever it is. The transparency will take you to the right direction, and if any crisis happens also, people will be available to help you and put you on the right track. So that this second point is very much important. Again, you have to calculate the risk when you are doing the business. You should calculate the risk. The risk should be a minimized risk, or the risk mitigation level. You should know all these risk parameters. If you understand well, then you can manage those risks. See, risk cannot be eliminated, but risk can be managed when you have the knowledge about the risk, or when you have the domain knowledge person with you. The risk can be minimized and mitigated, and the business can run in a more efficient way. Again, the liquidity is very very, because anybody who's putting the money, or anybody who's creating a business by their own capital, because ultimately the business has to do well, and you should be able to take out something from the business. Then only the purpose of business will be a meaningful one. If your business is running in a debt mode, like you're buying a raw material, your value addition product is coming, and you're supplying to the supplier, and then the money is not coming back, and they are always borrowing, and then you're supplying the material to all your suppliers with the debt thing, your liquidity may not be there. Again and again you will be in a debt situation. So always the cash is the king. So you should have the liquidity in your system, in your business. So this is the most crucial. The cash is always the king. When you run a business, the liquidity will give a more confidence, and it will create an environment, an ecosystem to expand your business in a more organic and inorganic route, whether it is acquisition or whatever it is. So all this thing is possible when you have a high liquidity, when you have a cash in your bank. So again, finally, it's a return on investment. Anybody who gives money, or any bank or institution gives money, they give money because of certain cost of the money is being paid to them. So the return on investment is very much essential, whether it is a proprietorship company or it is a medium size or small size or whatever it is. Return on investment is very much essential. So these five principles, when you are able to showcase to any investor or a banker or an individual or anybody well-wisher who wanted to be part of the business, if you are clearly visibly showing this points very clearly to them, money is not at all a problem. Today our economy is growing across the globe. There is a recession, the economy is not doing very well, but our economy has got a potential because we have a younger population, consumer centric population. So these are all the advantage, and this advantage you have to capitalize with the meaningful approach and with the principles, with applying it. If you are approaching it, you will have the confidence, and you can approach anybody with the confidence for raising the funds. Sir, next slide, sir. So always when you have the principles and then when you have the values in your mind, always you should start in a small way, because straight away we cannot expand, or straight away we cannot think of creating a larger capital contribution business, or larger size of business capital should not be put in immediately. We have to understand each and every stage, and the money has to go in a meaningful way. That money has to, whether it is creating a value, whether it may be a brand image, or maybe a value in with your supplier, or maybe a value in your internet
Okay,
disruption
okay. No, I
happened.
just
Sorry.
already told the all participants, and I just utilized the time to introduce one product, equipment leasing. And now, sir, please
Very good.
continue, sir. Nothing to. You
Yes,
are
sir.
able to
Yes,
see
sir.
the screen, sir.
Yeah, I'm able to say it.
Sir,
So,
sir,
as I
please.
told you,
Sir,
yeah, we
please.
can move to the next slide, sir. So, always, so this is a main. See, when you should have the five principles, and then the focus should be this. Always, you should have that review, and you should do a proper what you call validation of various datas, which in a various headings which is been represented. See, basically the capital, we always put in the capital. With the capital we buy asset, and we borrow money, and then again we buy certain capital, certain assets, or we borrow money for working capital purpose. With this, the business getting generated started, and mainly the business purpose is to generate income. First stage is to generate income. Any business person, they are putting own capital or borrowed capital, they buy some equipment and whatever it is, ultimately you should generate income. And when you are doing a business, automatically there will be a recurring expenses also. You should monitor recurring expenses. You should have a clear budget of the each and every month expenses, and essential expenses should be spent and allocated properly, and it should be given a priority. And finally, all these expenses goes out. Net profit is very much essential. Very simple thumb rule: if your business is not generating net profit for at least 2 quarters, you have to do a revisit, and you have to do a due diligence, or you have to do a thorough check where the problem is, whether you are spending high on the asset creation, or spending high on unwanted expenses, or your income margin is less. Where actually the problem is, you have to do a investigation with your team members, and that will help you to put the business in a right track. So always the net profit is not generating, you have to immediately get into the troubleshooting mode, and then you have to put the business on track. The next slide, sir. So basically, as I told you, the capital is the first point for any businessman, whether it is a proprietor or partnership or whatever it is. They each one has to contribute capital, or you have to contribute your own capital, or you may be raising a capital from outside also. So the capital is initially it is a interest free, because if you are putting your own capital, or partner is putting your own capital, or equity partner is bringing it is an interest free capital till the business mature, and generates profit, it is a capital freely available. But again, the capital who invested, they would be expecting higher return. Today's scenario, many people thinking that private equity investor means it is a free capital. No, it is not a free capital. You have to pay a cost for it, which will be cost literally. If you work out, it will be higher. For that, you are creating a value for those investors. So the capital should be a own source or equity, or you can raise debt from the banks or institution, whatever it is. Nowadays, the hybrid financial products are available in India, alternative investments. That is high net worth individuals, the individuals who has got a disposable income, who wanted to take some sort of a calculated risk. There are alternative investments are available. So this is one source of which source you are going to raise the capital, which is very much essential. You have to plan it properly and use those capital properly, creating assets. Next one, sir. So basically, when you are with the capital, when you are buying asset, or when you want to own asset, my experience is that your asset should be your business should be of light asset business model. It means you should not spend too much on the asset creation. Like depreciation will be there all there. But if you are asset light, like if you are going for a lease model, when the business is generating income, you can pay that lease rental. So you have to calculate and then plan it properly how effectively the assets can be acquired through lease model or a rental model or project finance with the support of the financial institutions. More and more, you are keeping your own capital with your fixed deposits or your own reserves in your bank deposits. The cash is always the king, which will have more confidence for the entrepreneurs to take a quick decision when there is opportunities coming, like when the raw material is shortage. But when you pay cash, you will get the best discount. Means that you have to use the cash in a most effective way and prudent way to generate higher returns. So when you go for a business asset creation, always first give a analysis or take a report on the asset light model, whether which one with this equipment can be purchased or asset can be procured through any of these model. Then choose that particular asset acquisition either this way or your own capital. So which is the appropriate one, you have to decide, or maybe your chartered accountant or your team members, CFO or any members can throw a light on it, and final decision should be yours. Finally, it should be appropriate, suitable to the business. So next one, sir. So you should borrow money, because nowadays I have seen because now many cases I have also handled NPA cases, also handled non-performing assets and all those things. Many entrepreneur, they borrow money and then they spend for their lifestyle, because whenever the money comes, huge money comes from the institution or whatever, they buy a land or they buy a house or they buy a big luxury car and all those things, which I noticed. And those people landing into a problem when there is a untoward incident like COVID or any pandemic situation or any situation which we have not thought about it, those conditions, they gone into a problem, and then they could not able to come out, and they are not able to liquidate the assets which they bought during the good time. So always borrow money when you have a good cash flow, and if you have a very good plan of servicing the interest and principal and effectively using those monies either for the acquisition of assets or for a working capital purpose or creation of expanding the business. This you have to analyze properly. When you borrow money at the cost of, for example, 10 to 11%, your return should be more than that. At least your return should be 15 to 16%. You should have a margin spread of around about 5 to 6%. Otherwise, borrowing the money, acquiring the asset, or spending for working capital, giving the material at the what you call at the debt scenario, these are all should be avoided as much as possible. If there is a scope, the buyer is giving a repayment within the 30 to 45 days, then because the normal banking NPA period is 90 days, you are getting your payment within 45 days, then again you are planning it properly. You are within the RBI banking norms, the 90 days period NPA norms, you are within that particular norms. So your cash generation will be helping to expand more business and you can plan it properly. So I used to say that cash is always king, because even when you buy assets, you cannot liquidate assets as and when you require. When your business is in problem, everyone will be looking at you in a different manner, and the whatever asset you are having may not be able to fetch you the best rate, or what rate you are expecting may not be able to fetch you at the appropriate time. But whereas cash in the fixed deposit, it is a secured amount, and with that you can also raise a loan fund from your banking institution, or wherever you are having a comfort through that cash in you. If you are reflecting the in your balance sheet is showing more reserves of cash and which is available in the bank deposits, you will have a more what you call good impression about the business, and more people will respect your business and practices also. They will willing to give more money. When you are in a good shape, more people will be willing to give money. When you are in bad shape, more people will be putting a pressure on you. So the deep understanding of borrowing risk is very much essential, because nowadays left and right people are calling, and then because of the institutional target, people also target many corporates. But we should not get into the unnecessary debt burden without any reason or without any generation of return. We should not borrow the money. So the understanding is very much essential. Next slide, sir. So you should know your cash flow management is very important. Based on the cash flow, suppose if your cash flow is limited, with the whether to choose the equity fund immediately and grow the business and give a good return to the equity fund, or combination of both debt and equity. These are all you have to plan with your business model, aligning with your team members. Discussion, first level discussion, you have to do it. Then the second level discussion, you have to do it with the consultant, chartered accountant, and finally you have to crystallize which one will be suitable to your business, because every case, every time the dynamics changes. So according to the business dynamics, you have to take an appropriate decision. Otherwise, you will be landing into a problem. Which at what time you have to choose the equity fund, that's more important. At what stage you have to go for a debt fund, at what cost you have to go for a debt fund. And there are various government scheme fund is also available, like MSME sector. The Ministry of Finance has many schemes for entrepreneurs to grow the business, to create a new product or new innovation. Various subsidies they are giving it. So all this thing you have to keep an eye on it, and you have to update your knowledge. This is very much important. Particularly any business, you should ultimately at the end of the line, end of the bottom line, your cash flow should be at the positive side. Otherwise, you will be having a more stressful business experience, which will always, your decision will not be appropriate and may not be a right one to move forward in a right direction. So the cash flow management should be prudent, and it should be dynamic also, and you should be able to rework and then bring the cash flow in a positive side. That is very much essential. We have to be very, very active with respect to the cash flow management. So next one, sir. So generating the income, because any business, what we are doing, we are putting capital, borrowing capital, and we are discussing with the supplier, discussing with the buyer, and finally, ultimately, our business should generate income. For that purpose only, we are all working, and with the income only, you can protect your employee, your stakeholders, your various government agency, tax authorities, and various people you are serving. For this thing, generating of income is very much essential. With the borrowed money, fulfilling the statutory compliance is not the right approach. Many people are doing it that way. That is a temporary solution only. That is not a permanent solution. Many promoters are only going for a temporary solution. They are not going for a permanent solution, because they have a mindset, a different mindset to handle the crisis and to come out of the crisis. So dynamic cash flow, as I told you, it should be of cash flow should be dynamic, and it should monitoring, and it should finally improve the business values. And your when you are earning profit only, you can reward your stakeholders, particularly equity holders or the institutions or your employees. Even employees also, you can nowadays, many company employees also part of the organization, they have been given a ESOP, employee stock option. You can reward those way, so they can more loyally they can work with your company, and then they can bring again value to the table. So next one, sir. So basically, you have to, when you are income level, or when you are budget or whatever you are forecasting it, if it is going in a wrong direction, immediately you have to understand where it is. Sometimes you would have been at the beginning of the year, maybe April or March year end, you would have budgeted certain allocations for each and every head. So those budgeted amount, if it is not being spent, also wrong, or if it is overspent, is also wrong. And taking a right person for the right work is very much important, because of certain influence or certain people recommendation, and taking a wrong person again will be a problem for your organization. Again, he will not be productive to the organizations. So you have to understand all those things, and then all these key people, or the people who are having a manpower, having a sufficient knowledge, is very much important. And sometimes always we give unachievable goals. So this should be avoided. We should always motivate our employees, our partners, or in a meaningful way, and achievable destination. We have to discuss it, and each and every stage when we are achieving it, we have to reward them properly. Those things are all very much important. And sometimes we always tend to do many things on our own, because we have that tendency that they may not be doing it in a right way. So everything doing yourself will also again stressful, because handling the money. I have one FMCG promoter who handles everything, because he is under tremendous financial mess. So he handles funding, he handles the sales, he handles labor, he handles all sorts of compliance and other things. One man handling many things will be a biggest problem, and health may not be supporting also. So delegation of work is very important, and making a right decision through the teamwork, and then understanding, and then working with them, traveling with them is more important. So always you need to also learn at every stage, and then you have to keep the people more spirited, more motivated, more people who are creating attitude of creating value is very much essential. So you need to always have this in your mind. That is very much your mindset is very much essential. Your mindset should be tuned according to the environment of the present conditions. You should always change according to the condition, and you should work very proactively. That is very important. Next one, sir. So again, I used to say that because overspending or underspending may not yield a better results. When you have a huge money, always people will think I'll buy a big tower that will save my rent. So your decision sometime may go wrong also, because at the end of the day, whenever during this COVID period, many people have created, when the economy was doing very well, they were creating a big commercial building, residential building, land, all those things. All these things has not provided any kind of what you call the comfort to come out of the crisis. All these assets are being sold at the discounted price. When you are in crisis, always the assets selling will be a problem. And normally asset liquidations like land, real estate, or land, whatever it is, the estate properties will take longer time to liquidate. Finding a right buyer may be a challenging one. Even the banks has got a huge inventory with related to the NPA accounts. They themselves finding it difficult. They are throwing their assets, whatever been lent, at a very throwaway price to the ARC, asset reconstruction company, at a 40% haircut, or maybe a 50% haircut. All this thing is happening. So always you have to spend judicially, which is necessary, and you should avoid underspending also. And cash is always, I used to say, the king. So you should keep reserve money for investing. Maybe the money which is surplus money, you should have a separate treasury management where your surplus money should generate return more than the bank rate of 12% to ranging between 15%. Nowadays, a lot of products are available. You can have a dedicated treasury team to handle your money. Your business incomes can be handled very proactively with the tax planning and other things. So always we need to have a ready quick cash at fixed, not fixed income, liquid income category. There are various liquid income schemes are available in the mutual fund. Those liquid income are offering return of around about ranging between 4 to 7%. Even those money is also, it's a money which is giving sort of a return. So always the liquidity will be there, and you are also getting sort of a return. Next one, sir. So as I was mentioning, your business, whatever you are doing, whatever with the borrowed money or your own money or whatever it is, your minimum net return should be more than the bank FT. The bank fixed deposit rate is today is average between 7 to 7.5%, and senior citizen it goes up to 8.5%. But average you take it 7%. So your business minimum it should grow 10%. It means 3% at least margin should be there. Yeah, if 3% margin is not there, you have to revisit the business model, or you have to relook the business, or you should look for alternative business. So when the business is not generating a minimum 3% return after all the expenses and other thing, your business has to be what you call revisited, and with the right team, with the right consultant, and you have to approach it with the open mind to put the business in a right perspective, generating the income. Your fundamental bottom line should be generating the income. The minimum income should be ensured. Then only you can move the business in a greater confidence, and all the stakeholders will be having a confidence on your business, because you are the person who creates the value to all the stakeholders. That's very much essential. So next one, sir. So when you are in problems, see, consistently, any business cannot do successfully. Any business will have a challenges, will have a trouble time because of the policy, or because of the world environment, or maybe a business, what you call there is a new transformation would have happened, because certain technology, may be obsolete technology, may not be workable also. So you need to foresee those things, and then you need to analyze with your first own team members why this is not going well, what is the market condition, what is the present trend, and you have to discuss with these points, and you have to discuss how we can reposition with your business, with your auditors, or a subject knowledge consultants and domain knowledge experts. You have to discuss with all these people, and you have to arrive at a key decision. That is very much important, because challenge and failure is common in all business. No business will run successfully forever. So even the Apple, the top company, has come up from the zero level, and then again it has fallen down, and again it has come up. So any company, if you take the challenge is inevitable, and failure is inevitable, and situation may not be supporting always. So you have to be you have to be more vigilant, and you have to understand what is going on surrounding with related to your business, and you have to take a precautionary steps before moving into the bad or messy situations. Next one, sir. So I used to say that, because always we need to have a weekly meeting or a 15 days meeting is very much important at the mid-level, senior level, and the top level meeting. On all these meetings should help you to put the business in a right manner and move the business in a right track, bring value to the business. That's a very much essential core meeting purpose of this meeting. The people or your own peer group. If you are in a pharma industry, you need to have your own senior member, council members, or chamber of commerce, or various pharma associations. Suppose if any association you are associated with a particular industry, those association, you need to have a understanding what is happening for them, how they are handling the challenges or failure or whatever it is. This needs to be understand in a more open mind, and with the sound knowledge you need to address it properly, the current business trend, to put the business in a right perspective and keep the business momentum in a positive way. So that's very much essential, sir. Next slide, sir. So always people used to borrow to pay one debt to the another debt. This is the, I have seen many promoters, they give to credit to many people, and the recovery may not be there even after 200 days or 1 year period. So these to manage the crisis, they borrow money and then again they'll supply the material on the credit basis, and then their recovery mechanism will be poor. So never borrow to manage the crisis. Instead of that, you can call the people and you can discuss the problem, and you can offer a solution how we are going to come out of the problems. It is a very simple example. Many entrepreneurs who have gone into trouble, they've explained the situation, and then they've put the right team and right people and expertise, and to bring the business in a right track. So always you should keep this in your mind, to by borrowing more money you can come out of the business situation crisis. It is not correct. You should take out that particular mindset, and you have to have an open dialogue with all your stakeholders and your bankers and creditors, and take a continuous support with them. Even in case of a crisis, when you are approaching with the banker with the open mind, you will get definitely a proper support with all the stakeholders, sir. So that is very important, sir. Next one, sir. So the large companies, or whoever is there, is untapped opportunities are available. As I mentioned in my starting of the session, government is ready to support. Many foreign investors are ready to bring in investment here if you have a right business model, and with the innovative kind of business approach, untapped area where you are not penetrated into the market. Those area, if you want to expand, all this thing, you need to have a clear mindset, and you should not focus with the competing with the large companies, because MSME can stand out by focusing untapped opportunity. There are plenty of untapped opportunity. You have to keep your eyes and ears open, and you have to discuss with your own peer group, your own team members, your own market circles. And when you are traveling, you will get a lot of ideas, and with that ideas, you have to come with the right solutions. Next one, sir. So always innovation is very, very, very important, because the business dynamics always changes. Because Kodak, that is the Kodak film, those days it was very, very popular. But nowadays people are going for iPhone, digital, and also. So Kodak industry has gone out. Same way the TV manufacturers. Nowadays LEDs come up. Many evolution is happening. So you should have the innovation, and you should have R&D in your business journey, and the R&D team should work according to the market trend. So that is, innovation is the crucial for growth of the business, and keep the business momentum growth always intact. So you should have the strong DNA of that. Innovation is very much essential. Next one, sir. Always, because every situations cannot be the same forever. You have to learn, relearn, and whatever you learn may not be workable to the current trend also. Again, unlearn and then learn, relearn. So this is the cycle which you have to keep it in your mind. If for any entrepreneur who are successful and creating a turnover of more than 1,000 crores, they always practice this, because they would like to interest to learn new things, put the new things in order, and rechange. Even today, the Lifebuoy soap, every time the brand packaging, everything is changing. FMCG products, if they want to be in the market, they have to reposition, rebranding. These are all things very much essential, that if you think that the spending for that is it is a waste of money, if you think that, then you will be out of the business. So always learn and relearn is a new business transformation, creating a new business transformation, which you need to keep focus on this point. Next one, sir. So, before concluding, I just there are various points which I have generally discussed. Funding options are very much widely available. I request any members who are having a question with connected to the values, and then how you have to practice your business and what way you can raise the funds. Maybe you can ask a question. I'm happy to answer it.
Yeah.
Please.
So, like, just a minute. So, actually, thank you so much, sir, for your time. And the it is really one insightful presentation this
Yes.
afternoon. And I'm very much sure and confident that it will support to all participants to drive the business in an efficient way. And with these concluding remarks, now we are opening our question answer session. So we are very happy to answer to any questions of any participants, any support. Please now this is the session for all participants now started. Now from our side actually almost done. Now if you have any question, we are happy to answer here. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hope the session gave you some informations to you. Your questions will help me to understand better how we can add value to your business.
Microphone only go. Hi, sir. So, thank you
Please.
so much for all the, it is deep insight actually. The
Yeah.
immense, the help, it will help a lot actually. So, just one slide, there are ways to get the finance, okay, for the asset. One was, lease, and one is rent, and one is the project finance. So, just
Yes.
wanted to understand a bit on the project finance part.
Okay. You wanted to understand about the project finance. Is it your question? This one related to project finance? I think he is muted. Manas, I think Manas only has asked question.
So
Manas,
the
your question?
Yeah, his question actually, sir, he is basically a chartered accountant. His question is that he wants to know about there is various mode of finance,
Yeah.
and when he explained, he wants to little more about what exactly project finance and how it works in a when he is planning to start up any venture or any business, how the
Yeah.
project finance will support, and
Yeah.
what exactly our task, how we can support for his business growth. This is his
Yeah.
question.
So yeah, basically the project finance. Suppose for example, I'm giving you. You're already having a domain knowledge in related to logistic or warehousing, or any other mining industry, whatever it is. You are having a domain knowledge, and you are also having an order, and you have identified certain areas to start the business. Like for example, warehousing. You are in the logistic. You want to put a cold storage unit. So that is one sort of a project where in a cold storage unit you have to have a land. Maybe you can take this land on a lease basis. Again, for cold storage, you need to have that cold storage equipment. That equipment can be purchased through the lease model or whatever it is. But whereas the project funder who's going to fund the entire project will be assessed what is going to be the capital is required, and how much experience you have, and what is the order size you can procure, and which level you can break even. All this report has to be worked on it, and then it has to be presented, and then the person who's funding it needs to get convinced with your project that this project is a workable model and this will generate revenue after a 3 years period or maybe a 4 years period. So once that is there, then if they are able to take out money, maybe a 7 years period or 10 years period, those type of thing, the bigger type of projects, you can go in for a project finance. Sometimes project funders may expect the promoter to bring a minimum of 10 to 15% own capital. That even that own capital can be brought in by the collective investor. Suppose if your project size is 100 crore, at least you should bring in 10 crores to 15 crores funding from your end. That means you should show your commitment and your experience, your domain knowledge, and then how you can create a value to the entire business. That has to be demonstrated very well. Once that is comfort is being given to the lender will be investing the balance 85% or maybe 90% funds. They will be investing and they will also be part of that particular project, maybe a director level or maybe a supervisory level, or to monitor at the nominee level. They monitor the entire business and then see that things are all happening. So this way you need not think that I need to have a 90 crores fund, then only I can start the business, or maybe a 90. Even for the balance fund also, you can give a bank guarantee. Some other investor is having a collateral. Based on the collateral, the bank guarantee can be raised and guarantee can be given. We can structure, and we have to give a comfort to the lender that this is the comfort we are giving, this is the money we are bringing, minimum commitment, and this is the model, this will generate return. So once all these things are all very transparently explained, the project funding is possible, and with that you can start up the business, and all the team members will also be helping you to grow the business.
Sir, I have one doubt
Yeah,
regarding for project finance.
yeah.
What your
Thank you,
the
thank you.
project finance will be done basically on the basis of only on the project, based on their long term running of the business, or other things like collateral of the security of land or something like that. Then it will be also a part of that project finance.
So there are two types, sir. One is that if you have a very strong domain knowledge, for example, in that particular industry, your minimum experience is 10 years, and you have a strong acumen to create a new business ecosystem with the innovative approach, and you can bring value in a different way. If that has been demonstrated and it has been presented to the funder, and collateral may not be required, your project itself is a collateral because you are the asset, and the project, whatever maybe the land or the equipment or whatever, the entire thing will be the belongs to the funder. That will be the collateral. Sometimes you are a new person and does not bring any additional margin money, or any your experience is very limited. To protect the lender, or the credit department will advise for a additional collateral from the promoter who wanted to get the project funding. So it is case to case changes, depending upon the promoter's experience and how they can bring in the values and how they can turn around the business, and it should be a unique. Then if that is the uniqueness is there, your contribution will come down, project contributor will be, funder will be contributing higher. So it
Thank
is
you,
not a
sir.
standard case one where
It will
you
differ.
have to bring the collaterals.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
And another thing, I want to ask one question on return on investment. Kindly
Yes, sir.
explain.
Yeah, return on investment. Suppose, for example, you are bringing your own capital. For example, you are bringing your own capital 1 crore. You are taking a risk. So either you can put that 1 crore in the bank deposit and then you can earn 7 to 7.5% without any risk or without any effort. You will be getting that return. That is point number one. But by putting the effort and putting the money and time and energy and managing all the resources, and for this thing, your business should be rewarding more than the bank deposit. If it is a 15%, then you are doing a meaningful business, and the business, you will have the interest to put more money, because more than the bank deposit, your business is yielding that, and you are getting a satisfaction, and you are independently managed at your convenience, and you can create an employment opportunity. These are all the satisfaction you get it, and you create a more win-win to all the people. So the return on investment minimum it should be 15%, and it should grow sequentially. That means every quarter it should grow. Minimum growth should be there. At least every quarter should be of 3 to 4 by 5, between 3 to maximum of 5%. Every quarter growth this should be there. That is the return on investment. More and more return. If your business is growing more than 24%, it means it is a good business where people will be interested to invest, because you are rewarding more than the bank deposit. You are rewarding more than the lending cost, managing everything, and your return is more, your business income is generating more than that. So the return on investment is the measurement for anybody to track the business, and for anybody who wanted to lend, they will see only that how much is your business is generating, based on your earlier investment or a borrowed capital, how much you are generating that return. That is very much essential data for the new lender or for new investor, or even if you want to put new money, your own money, you will assess that, then only you will be putting that money, sir.
Thank you.
So, any question? Happy to take up actually. Any participants? Any question?
Sir, another one question.
Yes,
I
sir.
am basically an advocate.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Deepak is my neighbor and he is my friend.
Very good, sir.
So I have one doubt about the recovery part,
Yes, sir.
based on the MSME,
Yes, sir.
MSME companies.
Yes, sir.
Since most of the MSME companies are they are dealing with big companies also.
Yes, sir.
There will be some dispute or something like that. Now the
Correct, sir.
recovery part is having a lot of difficulty in the MSME Act itself. Actually, they have to go for the notice will be sent by the MSME Council, and it will be sent to the concerned creditor for recovery part. That
Yes, sir.
entire thing is a cumbersome process. They are not able to recover immediately or something like that. Based on that, another thing, if they are other partner, other person is contesting, the big company is contesting, means he cannot recover faster mode. He has to go for an arbitration, and later only he can recover something. It will be a cumbersome process.
Correct, sir.
Any idea about now any development or something like that?
Yeah, recently the development has happened. I think Deepak Ray will also appreciate the MSME. Now, any outstanding is more than 45 days.
Hmm.
That you can take action, and that will be treated as a income in their buyer's book. So there
Oh,
is it is a new development which will protect the MSME sector, and the recovery mechanism also will be faster, where the supplier will get their money faster also. I think this new act will help mostly the MSME sector. All these problems, whatever you are saying, it was happening. Now, to address that, they brought this new rule to protect the MSME from the recovery, as well as within the 90 days NPA rule, they wanted to recover within 45 days. So,
good.
Deepak Ray, I am correct. You
Exactly.
can add,
Yeah, I
add
just
on.
want to I just want to add myself. Okay, sir, that recently the government has come with the new rule. Generally, what happened? Whatever the business expenses, one particular income it is being reduced, then whatever profit that is being taxed.
Yes.
Normal for pan India, this is the tax rule. What government is doing, if any company is not paying the MSME in the stipulated time period, then those expenses will not be treated as business expenses. That means what happened? That company will give the higher tax. For example, 100 rupees is income, total 50 he is supposed to deduct as business expenses, then total 50 he should give the tax. If out of 50, 20 rupees he has not given to the MSME, he cannot claim 50, rather he will claim as a 30. So 100 minus 30, 70 he will pay the tax. And you know that corporate tax rate is higher, and now, as you rightly said, there are so many options for going to litigation, MSME tribunal, everything. And again, this initiative has been taken by the government so that it will also add actually so that MSME should get actually in the right time the payment. So slowly and answering to your specific question, recently we are also in the panel now. We are discussing now many actually MSME has putting the disputes in the tribunal or something. What's the major problem for the MSME? Is they are dealing with the larger companies. They have the two fear. One is this is the big corporate. They have the big advocate, lawyer, whatever litigation cost. We cannot this thing. Number two, if you will ask frequently our money, it will irritate and we may lose the contract.
Contract.
So there
Yes.
are two kind of disputes. Now I'm also in the government panel. We are just drafting now. It is coming there how it will support these two fears take out either in the contract agreement, contractual time. It will be enrolled, and the second, the kind of clause it will be enacted, which will help in the recovery, tribunal, and arbitration. MSME will be higher side. This is also being taken out. We hope we will answer to your whatever little informations this particular development.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So any there is any specific question we are happy to take up, or if there is no specific question, with this we will close.
Maybe they can send a mail to
Yeah.
your email ID.
Yeah.
Maybe we can answer those queries, sir.
Yeah, so we are actually this is any time whatever your query you can drop a message, and in case if any participants is forgetting our ID, our website is www.drc.ind.in, which is exclusively there is a query sheet which can be filled. We'll also give you the response and any support, any kind of funding, finance, accounts, audit, MSME, tribunal. We are happy to support. With this note, thank you so much to all participants, our guest speaker, for the valuable time and joining with us. DRC always counts all of your support. With the best wishes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir,
Thank
for
Thank
you.
your wonderful view about the business.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thank you
Thank
all.
you, Deepak, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.